Hello, everybody. Welcome to Shawna's Miraculous podcast. Today is June 4th, 2026, and we're sitting at 19 degrees Celsius with a high of 20 and a low of 12. It's been pretty chilly out there. Went out for a little walk today. Oh, cool. I went out for a little walk today, and I mean it's not hot, but it's not cold. Um, Oh, there's a little sticker that was on my desk and I could never figure out what it was. It looked like a heart, but I realized there's some writing on it and it looks like a just a weird little face like a bird or something, but not quite. Anyways, um yeah, so I found that what was interesting is um there were a lot of downloads for yesterday's podcast episode, and I was talking about a little bit about demons and stuff. Well, my experience with entities, like ghosts, and I try not to make things too significant. So that's that. But today I was looking at talking about body and working out. It's been interesting. Um, a long time ago, I used to go to the gym like 3 hours a day, and that was just some general cardio, stretching, and then weights. And then I'd find myself at there for 3 hours at a time. And then the other day when I went to the gym, a couple of times I ended up staying for over 2 hours. And that's just doing about 45 minutes cardio and then stretching for however long I'd like to stretch, and then doing a bunch of weights, um, and then doing about 4 sets. And I think we constantly get bombarded on the right way to work out, what we should be doing and everything. And it's like, in that, is there even a question to include ourselves and include our body? I mean, I know people who do workouts every single day. They look fit and they look awesome, and they're probably having a lot of fun with their body and their workouts that they do. So I think that's amazing. I think if you have something that works for you, stick with it. If it's fun for you to, pop on a YouTube video and work out to it, by all means, like do what works for you. I and then I also like when people make comments about others' bodies or workout routine, I just think that's the worst. Especially if you're not asking it for it, like I think people tend to give their points of views and continuously stick people, and then it doesn't help because it takes effort and time to work out, get your schedule going. And if you work full time and you're working out every single day or every other day, for me, I I've always had this body. And um I look at my body and I'm so grateful for it. And I think it would be better to continuously ask questions to be like, okay, body, what would you like to do? I wanted to go for a bike ride the other day and someone gave me a bike rack. However, the bike rack doesn't fit the vehicle. So now I'm like, okay, so in order to get the bike to where I'd like to go for a bike ride, I'd have to clear out everything in my car and then put the bike in the car and then get there. Sounds easy, but it's just a little barrier where I'm like, okay. Um, there's these treadmills that are like tiny and like office treadmills. I see a lot of people using those. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, like I generally just I go for walks, and then okay, if I had all the time in the world, like no full-time job and part-time job and other like uh business activities or anything, and if I have like when I have free days, like a whole weekend or like a whole week off or something, that is when I can hit the gym every single day, because I can either just wake up and go to the gym at any time. So I can wake up early, go to the gym, or kind of sleep in a bit and go to the gym and spend my day. And then that's the course of my day. But I find with like work, full time and part time, all the time, it's I do not wake up at 5 a.m. And I know if you're listening to this and you're like, oh, well, you got to make the time, you got to go, you got to be hardcore. I actually did that. I think I can't remember what my work time was before. I think it was like, I swear to God, it was like 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. I can't remember, but I had early start times, and there's a gym that's open 24 hours a day. And I would just I think I was going to the gym at like 4 or 5 in the morning. I was barely awake. And I got like one time I got nauseous. I was like, oh, I gotta go I can't do this workout because I'm about to pass out. 4 or 5 in the morning, trying to like do a bunch of cardio and lift really heavy weights. I find it's hard to like hire a good trainer. And for about half a year or even a year, I can't remember how long I had the trainer for, but for a while I had a trainer who was really good, and I stuck with it, and I saw a lot of improvements and a lot of muscle gained. It was pretty cool. And now it's just kind of looking at training myself and being like, okay, so what days can I go to the gym? Oh, I'm not going every single day. And then I know everyone says to work out at home, but it's also like I got rocked this past week and over the weekend. Like I was not able to do anything. So it's like I know there are people that are super hardcore, but it's also like in being hardcore, are you listening to your body, or are you putting yourself through things that your body just doesn't really want to do and needs a workout or a break? A workout or a break? Does your body need a workout? But what I love about working out is the defined muscle that you get. And for me, it's all more about like the muscle gain than anything. And this past couple of months, I felt like I'd lost so much muscle. And it was funny though, because I went and talked to a physiotherapist, and he's like, oh, no, no. He's like, you've got muscle. He's like, you just have to continuously activate and, get back into, lifting the weights again. So it's there. It's like, so yeah. I got dry needling done. That was intense. That got me going for like, I swear, a week. I was like, whoa, it really like woke me up. And ozone, I've been getting that on and off for like about 2 years, and I find that it does energize me, and it's pretty cool. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, so I at home got some rings, and those were pretty good. And sometimes I'm like, okay, if I'm not going to the gym, the least I can do, I have weights and a little bench and everything. So like I could do workouts at home. But what I look at is the movement. And because I have some projects I can work on, I find that if I'm moving or like, doing some landscaping or something, that easily gets in the 10,000 steps. It's so funny. There's so many gadgets too, like the watches, the Fitbits, the Garmins, the Apple Watches, every single piece of technology you could find out there. And also a lot of like mostly there are practitioners out there that use like laser therapy and light therapy. And a long time ago, I don't know, I was at it was like, I don't know if it was a health convention, but it was in this hotel, and they were showing this light therapy stuff. And they're like, yeah, you can try out this light therapy. And that was a long time ago. And I think they were selling those masks. And I was like, oh, okay. So I just sat there in this with like red light on my face. And I was like, I wonder what this does. But, I think for me right now, what I have on is a Fitbit. And what I love about it is that it just shows my steps. And to me, that's pretty much good enough. I've looked at other watches, but they seem a bit clunky. So for me, it's like doing whatever works. And I would look at like, you know, kind of one thing also to include is the earth. I noticed that when I focus on the earth and include the earth and my body with everything, my life gets better. And you're like, probably like, oh, well, what do you mean by that? Like, my finances improve, my jobs improve, everything improves, like my health and everything. And that could just be going outside or literally just connecting with nature and the earth and like doing some energetic work, like I guess it's gifting and receiving energy with the earth, and I guess communing with the earth and just really receiving and just being present, almost like meditation. Actually, what I was thinking of doing coming up on this next weekend is taking a full day to like put down the cell phone and zero screen time. I'm gonna pick a day to do that. And I wonder how long that'll last for. There were times when I was like, hey, I'm gonna take my cell phone and I'm not gonna touch it for the whole day. I'm not even gonna look at it for an hour. It was probably an hour, or I was trying to do it the whole day. But when I started my day, I think I there was something I needed in the phone, and I can't remember if it was like a map or a phone number or to call someone or something. And I was like, oh, I have to turn my phone on and use it. So it didn't last. It didn't last a second. I was like, oh, I gotta like turn my phone on. But I was also looking at a study that was done not too long ago, and it was showing how people do not like, well, there's two studies that I saw. And it was one how when people did put their phones down, everything improved, like their brain functioning, their relaxation, their capacity to learn and everything. But then if they also did this study on the younger people in generation, and it was kind of like saying that, the iPad kids, they do not have the cognitive functional ability as other people did beforehand, before the screens came into schooling. Um, so that says a lot. And I found the one study interesting because it was based on the cell phones and showing the stats on how we improve without a cell phone, with the ability to learn and to have some cognitive thinking, was quite staggering. I was like, oh wow. So like, how many people always have their cell phone on? And it's not a bad thing. Like, I think cell phones are useful. It gives us information, it entertains us, it gives us the dopamine. We talk to our friends all the time. It's used to communicate. We can scroll, people doom scroll, you know, but also I'm looking at, taking some time out and monitoring that and limiting that, because I find, with work, jobs, with reporting, with researching, reading, meetings, anything and everything, even learning a new skill, because I'm like, oh, I have no idea how to do this project. There are other projects that I do apart from my other job. I'm like, oh, I could learn how to make a table, or the best way to prune back the bushes or whatever. There's a lot of information. I also watched, oh, it's an AI documentary. I thought that was pretty cool too. I'll put it in the, so it's a new AI documentary, and it's called The AI Doc, or How I Became an Apocalyptimist. And this is a very interesting documentary. Okay, so it's a good documentary. I didn't know what I was in for. I don't think I stayed the whole time. Because it was like midnight. I was so tired. I was like, I'm gonna fall asleep here. It's like midnight. I went to like a 9:30 or 10. I think I went to like a 10 p.m. movie, and I was like, oh, there's this or this. What am I gonna choose? And I was like, well, this AI doc looks good. But it's a very good movie. It's a very good study, and it talks about how um it could mean a lot of doom and gloom and like the negatives of it, and how people could be using this like AI. And then it also talks about the positive side of it, so it's like the optimistic side, where, people, hold on one sec, could use it for the better. Uh, and yeah, so it has its positives and negatives. And I find, again, like even in this world with polarity, people will look at something and it takes a couple of people to align and agree or resist and react. And then that's where people take their points of views on from. For me, when it comes to anything, politics, religion, churches, whatever, courses, information, um, conversation, anything that I listen to and I go and see, it's one, getting an awareness, trying to learn, and also like I try not to take on a crazy strong point of view, although if you look at it, I could get into politics and I'm going to try and stay away from it, but so many people go into, there's conspiracy theories, there's the thoughts, feelings, and emotions, where people are like, well, in schools it has to be this way, or I'm going to church because that's the right thing to do, or this is the right way to have money and make money. Oh, and then with working out, the right way to work out is to do like you have to do 10 million crunches before anything, before lunch type of thing. Like people have their opinions and points of views, and I find that the people with the strongest of strong points of views and opinions, it's like sometimes it's so strong that it like it deflects me, like it defers me away. I'm just like, oh, okay, like this is interesting. I think it's something to be, I look at information out there as something to be aware of, and just to look at it and be like, okay, so look at this study, where is AI going, and how will it take over, how far will this go, um and then I live my life accordingly and do the best that I can, because if we're stretched so far with all of this information, we could be like bombarded, we could be like um if we think too much, the best thing that I realize is when I think, that's when I stop doing things and I become a little overwhelmed. That happened this past week. Again, this week was a write off. Like this last weekend to this week was just a complete write off. But I looked at the fact that I was thinking way too much and I was like, oh no, like the thinking does not help. And when I turn my mind off and start just functioning without thinking, I get so much done. I don't even think about it. I just do what's required, like the projects, the work, the running errands, even the workout. So back to working out. If you think too much, if you're like, okay, I gotta wait, it gets overwhelming. If you're thinking about the time you have to wake up, what you have to eat, what you have to drink, how you have to prep, what you have to wear, and if the gym's even open. And then there's another thing of like, sometimes there's a ton of people there, like tons of people there. It's overloaded. You can't get on a treadmill, you can't get the leg press machine, you can't even get a bench press because everyone's taking up the gym. That's fine. Or going stretching, that whole room could be filled. You know, it's like it becomes overwhelming. But if you start to kind of chill, and and you're listening to your body and you're asking questions, it becomes a lot easier to get the things done that will contribute to your body, your life, and your living. That's what I noticed. When I was not thinking and I was just like getting up and going, I'd be like, okay, just gonna get up and go, do my workout. It was great because even in the morning when I did my workout, I had the rest of the day and I was super energized. But I think one of the things that gets us trapped is thinking. And it's funny because there's also this new kick on the demons as well, and the demon clearing. It's like, how many demons do you have stopping you from doing what you would like to do and listening to your body, communing with the earth, living a greater life, that if you let go and give up and were you yourself would create what it is you would like to have and be lighter. Um, when I got home, I think it was like it was either Saturday or Sunday. When I got home, I was getting ready for bed and I had never felt so heavy. And I was like, did I take this on from everybody out at the club? Like everyone out in the city. And in that city, I felt like, I mean, everyone was having a lot of fun, but I felt like I was like a more conscious person being present rather than just being willy-nilly, like not like just there was like a lot of unconsciousness. And when I came home, I was like, holy, did I take this on? Whose judgments, opinions, thoughts, feelings, and emotions did I bring on that I brought home that was so heavy and I've had to work through it and clear it all and process it all. I was like, oh, like so it's like looking at life living in reality. I'm like, okay, so what is my reality? Maybe it's not going out and partying every weekend, even though it seemed a little fun, but didn't really meet anyone, didn't really connect. I met a couple of people. That's a bit of a lie, but you know, but it's like how much of the heaviness do we take on that we don't even realize that we're taking on, that we could be more focusing on what we would truly like to have. Like I look at this, I'm like, well, I would like to work out every day if I could, and I would if I had the energy. But where did I negate when I decided to say, okay, I'm just going to go out all night and not listen to my body and stay out till 5 in the morning? you know, thinking that that is life and living. But it's like, how would we? And I'm not like, it's not a wrongness to just go out and have a night. And then basically, I feel like I've been recouping for like a week. But again, biologically, it makes sense. Like with how our blood processes or even like energetic processes. If you're listening to this, and if you're listening to this, you must know what I'm talking about in regards to energy, because, well, I do tend to talk about energy quite a bit. And for the past year, I'd say it's been very interesting with perceiving energy different and clearing energy. Like a long time ago, I used to like be like, okay, let's just clear all the energy, and maybe everything was just light. And now I'm more open and perceptive to what is light, what is heavy. It's very clear now. It's very interesting, even like including my body and everything. Just gonna check the time here. Okay. Uh, but yeah, so the whole workout thing, I'm grateful for the people who have shared with me their workout routines. And if anyone out there, if you're like, oh, I work out all the time, I got a really good video, I've got a good workout routine. If you want to share it, go for it. I have a routine that I have, and it's really cool because I do the days and the sets, and then I'm like, okay, so and then I just choose the days as I would like. So like for a while I was just doing legs and upper body, and then I would do those 2 days, and then I was like, okay, time to move on to the next set, and then I'm probably just going to keep doing that and keep switching back and forth because all the workouts are super dynamic. But yeah, like, and then there's all the information about the protein powders. Like I was a huge protein powder buff, I freaking loved it. And then the other day, that this other protein shake that I've been taking, it made me sick. I was like, oh no. And I did not feel well. I was like, oh, that's weird. So it's like, I wonder, how long it's going to take or what choices I can make in order to continuously choose lightness for me and my body in regards to the supplements, the food, the workouts, and everything. And I can't remember who I had this conversation with. And I said, you know, it's almost like I want to be healthy with like, the fruits and veggies and all the good things. But at the same time, I'm just not doing it because I just don't want to. And my friend said, yeah, but what if your body just likes to be healthy? And I know it's just so pragmatic, but it's one of those things like I'm so grateful for all the people who show up in my life and they say these one-liners and it changes my entire life. And it's for a moment or a second. They show up in my life. We have a short conversation. They have a one-liner and it's just natural. And it's just something that contributes to my whole entire life and like the whole world. That's why I love this podcast that I do. I love everyone who listens. I love all the people who join in and are special guests. It's so much fun. But yeah, so if you're listening to this and you're like, oh, cool, like there's this new workout or there's a cool workout or whatever, feel free to share it with me. I'm always open. And yeah, hope you guys have a good day and we'll see you soon.